Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Dave TV for the 7th of August, 2013. How y'all doing? We'll listen to Pride Radio on 99.5's HD2. That was just added not long ago. So there. Also, you can hear the Gamut back on 103.5's HD3 because their transmitter or tower work is done at American University and WTOP's digital signals back on the air. Why is WTOP running Radio Russia on its HD2? Why? I don't know. With all the Edward Snowden stuff going on, and bring it in with Pride Radio, the gay station. Putin's anti-gay campaign. I mean, yeah, I would think WTOP would want to stay away from lining up with Russia, right? Yeah. Sorry about that, folks. But here's my China watch today. One of the reasons I love getting the Washington Post print edition is I get China Watch once a month or whenever this is propaganda from the Chinese government. Okay. Anyhow, how y'all doing, everybody? So what's going on with the Washington Post? Well, it turns out that was just a big April Fool's Day joke in August. They're not really selling to Steve Bezos or Jeff Bezos or whatever the hell his name is. No, it's going to happen, and it's interesting just to read all this kind of stuff in the Post lately, how they're covering their own stuff and how it's all wonderful and how they're really portraying Jeff Bezos as a savior, who's the only savior out there who's going to save the paper and all that. Maybe he will, who knows? But anyhow, this is an interesting graphic I punched up on the intranet on Politico's site today, and it's an interesting thing. It kind of tells you in a snapshot what's going on with the Post. Here's the Post. Okay, way down here, and this is their digital percentage of their digital subscribers, and then the light blue is their print subscribers, the Dead Tree edition. And you look at their digital compared to all the other major newspapers, and they're the lowest. So the Washington Post, has been the slowest to do that. And the other thing that's interesting is they're no longer among the top paper. You look at Wall Street Journal, New York Times, USA Today are turning out to be the top 3 newspapers in the country. The Post isn't 4th or 5th or 6th, it's 7th. So they're kind of down here a little too low. And the Post needs to be at least 4th. They're turning into they're losing their status as a national news source there. They're below the New York Post, for Christ's sake, in terms of total subscription there. And this is bad for them. And I think, the fact that they're selling out to Bezos, the people at the Post aren't stupid. Catherine Weymouth isn't stupid. And she realizes we're in trouble. They're in trouble here. So, my prediction is that, and there were some rumors around that, why am I breaking with a stupid camera? It's too high, too low. They're going to take the Post and basically make it a national newspaper, a national news service, kind of like Huffington Post. I predict you'll see the Huffington Post and the Washington Post getting closer and closer together in terms of what they are. Basically, a website that covers national news. There isn't going to be the Washington and the Washington Post is going to get tinier and tinier. What's the point? Why confine yourself to a small market? DC is a big market, but it's still just one of a small area. When you can reach the whole country, and that's the thing with internet. You're trying to get a website, make it popular. You need giant coverage area and a lot of readers coming in from all over the place, and why limit it to the Washington area? So I think you're going to see the Washington Post under Bezos become less and less Washington. I think you're going to see them cut back on their local coverage. And I think you're going to see Style and Metro and Sports folded into an inside tabloid kind of quick read thing, whereas the broadsheet news section will cover that. You're going to see Metro, Style, and Sports get shrunk under Bezos. I really think so. And it makes sense. I mean, ESPN can make a lot more money on sports on the internet because it's covering sports everywhere. Whereas if the Washington Post is just going to focus on the Washington market, it's a limited market. And I think you're going to see more national sports in the Washington Post and more national news in the Washington Post and less local. I just sense it's going to go that way. So it'd be interesting to see, but the sale is just kind of a desperation move, I think, or it's a sign that what they've been doing at the Post over the last 5 or 6 years has been bad and wrong, and it's not working, and regardless of the kind of PR-ish write-up you're seeing about it in the paper there. Okay, so the radio ratings came out yesterday for July. And I'm just going to take a quick look at the money demo numbers, 25.54, and see what some of the trends are. Okay, in the money demo, Hot 99.5 in the 25.54 demo is up there in number first, and it remains first. It's been first since May, dropped to second in June, back to first in July. So they're strong. Station's doing good. Kane's in fourth place in that money demo. Wash is in second place in the money demo. They're up to second place. They're actually up from fourth place, and I think that's because of Mix. Mix's meltdown has caused Wash to go from fourth to second. And even Lou in the morning is up from seventh back in May to fifth. So we're seeing a rise in Wash because of Mix's meltdown. TOP is third place. They do tend to have a summer slump a little bit here going on. There's not a lot of big news. Remember, last year we had the political campaigns and all that. This year is kind of a slow news year, relatively speaking. But they're still doing well. First place in mornings, first place in afternoon drive. But they are a third place in terms of the money demo. Now TOP is first place, tied with WNEW in the 6+ overall numbers. So if you add everybody up, they're doing fine, and they're also doing good here. But a little bit of a sniggy snag there. HUR in fourth place in the money demo for the month of July, which is up for them a little bit. They're from fifth place. Their mornings are third, and surprisingly, their afternoons are 11th place, even though they still don't have a permanent host there. Will D.L. Hughley and his new afternoon show be heard on WHUR? I have a funny feeling it will be, but we'll see. We will need to see. KYS is in fifth place. They're up a little bit from 6th and 7th place earlier in the summer. Big is doing really well, up to 6th place from 9th place 2 months ago. So they're right there. They're a top performer. They're sounding good these days. I don't know. WMMJ is also at 6th place with Tom Joyner in 7th. That's pretty steady performance for them. WAMU's in 8th place. Now that is a slump for them. They were second place in the money demo back in May, so they're down quite a bit. Their mornings are second place, afternoons are fifth place. I'm wondering what's up with that. Now, they are tied for first in the overall demo, but in this money demo, they have dropped quite a bit. So there is a definite summer slump going on for AMU. And again, it's summer slump. It's not summer of slump. DC 101 is down a bit to 9th place from 6th place back in May. Elliott's about the same at 5th place. MZQ is seeing a surge. They're up from 14th place to 10th place in July. 9th place for Boxer and Ally McBeal. Hot 99.5 is pretty much holding steady at 11th place. Tommy McFly, the idea it's Fresh 94.7. Tommy McFly also holding steady at 11th. Gospel 104.1 PRS, 12th place, holding steady. PGC going up a little bit. We're seeing a tiny little juice up for PGC a little bit there. From 16th place, actually a nice rise for them overall. From 16th place in May to 13th place now. Pablo is just up a tiny little bit at 19th. Still has some work to do there. But they're still not doing great. 13th place in afternoons, 9th place in evenings, and 12th place on the weekends. JFK is up a little bit at 14th place. I think you'll see them rise a little more if the Nationals need to be doing a little better, but if we start getting into Redskins season, I think you'll start seeing them going up a bit. Junkies, though, are slumping a bit. Even though the overall station's ratings are up, the Junkies are down from 9th to 13th place in mornings. And the afternoon show, Arrington Dukes, is up a little bit to 4th. JFK is doing really well, though, in the evenings at 7th place. I guess that's due to their Orioles broadcasts. GTS at 15th place, pretty steady. WRQX, again, we're seeing, a sizable slump for them from 11th place in May to 15th place now, 13th place in mornings in May, back when the end of Jack Diamond's career there. Maybe it's not the end of his career, the end of his days at Mix, to 18th place now with Burt. That's not a disaster, and I think it can be brought back up again, but they still have a lot of work to do. The station is, definitely down. El Zol is down too. They were 12th place in May. They're 17th now. Their morning show's down to 21st place. I think they're starting to feel some competition from WDCN over there on 87.7. MAL is at 18th place in the Money Demo. They're pretty flat. The morning show is kind of flat. flat. Yeah, both the Cumulus properties, RQX and MAL, are in trouble. They need some help. Help! Baltimore's WERQ is at 19th place in the DC market. That's pretty good. DCN is at 20th place. Their morning show, JR, is 16th. And he's doing quite a bit better than Biaggi over on El Zol. So I know they're crowing about that over there. WETA, 20th place, which is a little bit up for them. These are the July numbers. WTEM is at 22nd place, which is down for them. Their morning show, Mike and Mike, is about the same. Nothing impressive there. The station's kind of eh. Wink out of Winchester is 23rd place, which is about even for them. QSR is doing fairly well in the Washington market, 24th place. I'll tell you, if somebody were to put that adult hits format Jack down here in Washington, I think they get very good numbers with it. WYYY is at 24th place. WMAL Stream is at 26th place. FRE is at 26th place. And tied for 28th place, there's WNEW. Again, they're down a little bit. 27th place from May. So they're just not really picking up the traction. 25th in mornings, 24th in afternoons, tied with Fredericksburg's WBQB. PFW, 30th place. What do you say about that? Tied with that little Spanish station out there in Manassas at 106.3 and 1460 WKDV. KDV! So those are the ratings trends, everybody. All right, we're hitting about the 13-minute mark. Thanks for watching Dave TV for the 7th. So what's interesting, 7th of August, interesting again to notice that the Washington Post sold for $250 million, okay? WJLA, the whole package of Auburn stations sold for like upper $900 million, which means JLA was probably around $800 million. So JLA, one TV station, $800 million, the whole Washington Post, $250. It's just interesting to think that the Washington Post is worth about a third of one Washington major television station. It tells you something about what's going on in the media business these days. Pride Radio there on 99.5's HD2. Listen to it. It's cool. And you can also listen to some cool dance tracks over there on PGC's Area 95.5 HD2. And don't forget the Gamut on 103.5 HD3. 3 really cool. We're starting to get now some really cool HD signals, sub-channels on Washington Radio. It might be worth actually going out and getting one of those stupid HD radios. It's free, too. The radios aren't free, but the channels are. You don't have to pay extra like in Sirius. So anyhow, have a good one. Bazinga!